Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alastair Marke, the Director General of the Blockchain and Climate Institute. There are several imperatives that can accelerate global climate actions. The first one is addressing the climate finance flows. To keep the global temperature rise to within 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level, and ideally at 1.5 degrees, by estimate, we need $300 billion a year by 2020 and up to $500 billion a year by 2030 for green investments and potentially significantly more for adaptation if the targets for temperature rises are not met. Developed countries committed to providing $100 billion a year in the Paris Agreement. The second imperative is to build trust by increasing transparency. In 2016, just over half of donor countries complied with the UNFCCC climate finance transparency requirements for their climate funding to be trackable. The third imperative is to help developing countries to access climate finance. Many developing countries simply cannot meet the stringent accreditation requirements of international climate funds, and it often takes years for a climate change project to be given funding through different intermediaries. But we simply don't have the luxury to wait given the urgency of addressing climate changes. Seeing this daunting reality in late 2016, I started a group called the International Core Group on Blockchain Climate Finance just on LinkedIn. We gather 4 groups of rare experts working at the intersection of climate change and blockchain technology. We studied how the blockchain can enhance renewable energy investments, emissions trading, and adaptation finance, as well as how the legal or regulatory frameworks should be reformed for the blockchain era. These are the 4 major sections of our book, which is the world's first book on blockchain and climate change issues. It's entitled Transforming Climate Finance and Green Investments with Blockchains, which is already released in summer 2018. But our work is not done yet. To continue this momentum, together with more like-minded delegates at a dinner during COP23 in Bonn last year, we upgraded this core group as a formal NGO, now renamed as the Blockchain and Climate Institute. Today, we have a network of over 80 expert members from over 30 countries, but all of us share the same vision, that is to put blockchain into the best use to accelerate global climate actions by addressing the 3 imperatives I've just mentioned.
My name's James Close, and I'm honoured to be the chair of the advisory board of the Blockchain Climate Institute. The Blockchain Climate Institute is a think tank and advisory group which supports G77 climate policy makers. I've spent the last 10 years working on climate change, and I've seen the acceleration in climate breakdown, and I recognise the urgency for climate-based solutions coming from the very best possible innovation and ideas. I'm not a technologist myself, but when I saw the functionality of blockchain, I immediately recognised that it could be applied to climate solutions in both developing countries and developed countries. The role of the Blockchain Climate Institute is to bring together policymakers and innovators to have a conversation around climate policy and how we can scale up action. And in that regard, the BCI provides a super scaling platform that enables us to catalyse and accelerate solutions. So now is the time for a different type of collaboration that's going to bring the very best of policy and innovation together to accelerate and identify the best possible solutions for climate change so that we can protect the poorest and the most vulnerable from one of the most terrifying challenges of our time.
Our doors are always open to all of you who also want to play a part, so if you would like to get involved, please feel free to contact us.